Welcome to the realm of intoxicating flavors and head-banging beer reviews.
What's up, everybody? It's the Ginger Yeti, and I'm checking in from home. So while I was on tour, I kind of forgot to figure out finding somebody to mow my lawn for me. And about halfway through the tour, my neighbor messaged me. He's like, "Hey, what's going on with your lawn?" I was like, "What do you mean?" It's like, "Doesn't look like anybody's mowed it for a while." And he sent me a picture. I'm like, "Oh, shit. Hey, can you mow it for me?" So since my neighbor Chris was kind enough to mow my lawn for me, I went over to Rosie's Wine House, which I talk about a lot, picked up a gift card for him, and while I was there, I ended up picking up a few beers. So one of the beers I picked up was this beer right here, something I've never seen before. It is Famosa, if I pronounce that right, in the USA. In the rest of the world, it's Gallo or Gallo. It's from Cervecería Centroamericana microbrewery out of the Ciudad de Guatemala. It's the first Guatemalan beer I've seen that I can think of. There is a rooster on the bottle here. Here's a picture of the bottle there. I expect this is a lager. Like I said, I picked up at Rosie's for $1.90. On the bottle here, it says Tradición y Orgullo de Guatemala, imported from Guatemala. Famosa desde 1896. And on the back here, it just says brewed and bottled in Guatemala City, Guatemala by Cervecería Centroamericana S.A. Nothing else really. Product of Guatemala. So this is a 5% ABV lager. And I'm going to see if I can peel this price tag off this crown here, because the crown is kind of cool looking. It's got that rooster on it again. If I remember right, I'll put a picture up of that. So let's get into it. On Untappd, this gets a 2.93 with 17,000 check-ins. On Beer Advocate, it gets a 59 awful. Wow, that's pretty terrible. With 316 check-ins. And I wouldn't have thought this, but apparently that was a screw top. I did not need the bottle opener for it. Kind of surprised that's a screw top, but learn something new every day. Never would have thought that'd be a screw top. Now, as this is from Central America, very hot area of the world, I'd expect this to be a nice light lager, light flavors. I mean, that poured out crystal clear. That is absolutely crystal clear. I mean, that's almost the color of water. The head was a bright white head that dissipated very quickly. Not quite soda-like, but it dissipated almost as quick. And for color, I mean, I'm giving that a 1 on the SRMs. Don't even have to look at that. That's a 1 easily. Again, this is like I said, this is a lager from Central America. I expect this to be, depending on how this was shipped and stored, I'm going to expect some skunkiness out of it. Let's find out. Surprisingly, no. Not really any skunkiness to it. I'm shocked at that. I mean, maybe the brown bottle helped. Maybe this has been transported properly. Come to think of it, I don't see any sort of date on here or any sort of date code, but maybe this is relatively fresh. Just getting that slight adjunct smell. Get a little bit of that cereal malt smell. Not much else. I mean, you stick your nose in there, you can tell this is going to be almost like a Euro lager is the best way to describe it, even though it's from Central America. So let's get into it. Man, I should have looked up what cheers is in Spanish, but I don't remember off the top of my head, so I'm just going to say cheers. Oh, man. Carbonation is getting to me already. You know, you don't see it, but there's a lot of carbonation in there. Surprising because it's not very visible. Wow. There's a ton of carbonation in there. Light-bodied, very carbonated. And then you just kind of get that adjunct cereal malt kind of Euro lager flavor. And that's about all there is. It's just kind of like a typical Euro lager, typical adjunct lager. I mean, this is like your Busch, your Budweiser, your Heineken, Stella. It's right up there with those. Is this something I would drink regularly? No. I bet this would be absolutely delicious on the beach somewhere, maybe in the jungle. But for day-to-day beer, I would just let this play. I'd give it let it play. I mean, it's not terrible. I wouldn't be upset if somebody handed it to me in the right situation. But it's not something I would seek out, not something I would purposely buy again. At what I say it was $1.90 for the bottle for being an import beer. It's not a bad price. You know, that flavor is what I expected from a kind of a typical lager. I mean, I keep wanting to say it's a light lager, but it's not. But it's just a typical lager beer. And the flavor is kind of what I expected from it. It's just that carbonation that's giving me the let it play. If it wasn't for that carbonation is just getting to me. I mean, it doesn't look like that in the glass. You hardly see any bubbles there, but when you take a mouthful, it just like that carbonation gets released and it just explodes all the way down. I mean, there's a ton of carbonation hidden in this beer. But again, this isn't an awful beer. It's not the worst thing in the world. I would definitely drink it again if somebody gave it to me. But it's just to let it play. But for my first Guatemalan beer, it's not bad. Cool label. And if this is the first time watching my videos, I hope you don't think they're too bad. And if you don't, please hit that like, hit that subscribe. Let me know down below in the comments if you had a Guatemalan beer before. What's your favorite Guatemalan beer? What Guatemalan beer should I be looking for? As always, embrace the adventure.